Yo, what is up, everybody? And it's back with a video that you guys said you wanted to see. I posted a poll. It was 3 different videos. You guys overwhelmingly wanted to see playoff caliber teams that won't make the playoffs. And I even went further than that. I gave you guys all a say in some of the teams. So starting off, I'm going to start off with 2 teams that aren't scheduled to make the playoffs right now, but easily could. Well, not so much if they're in this video. So right now, the number 9 team in the NFC, 2 teams away from making the playoffs, basically 1 or 2 wins. We have the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers, I don't believe, are a playoff team, and even if they make the playoffs by some odd way, they're out in the first round. The 49ers are devastated by injury. We've seen Raheem Mostert go down. We've seen George Kittle out a couple games. Their quarterback, obviously, and then Nick Bosa is just a devastating injury. The 49ers are not going to be able to make the playoffs this year, I believe, especially in a division where every single team can make the playoffs. And then we have the number 8 team, the New Orleans Saints. I asked you guys, are the Saints a playoff team? And with 255 votes, 64% of you guys said no, the Saints are not a playoff team. I feel bad for the Saints, all right? The Saints do have a record of 4-2, and they went 4-2 without Michael Thomas, basically. Michael Thomas has been a non-factor for the Saints all season, and probably that drama with Michael Thomas probably factors in to why 64% of you guys said no, the Saints are not a playoff team. All right, now we look at the actual playoff bracket for the NFC. We have the Los Angeles Rams against the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks did lose a pretty close game with the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday Night Football, but it doesn't really matter. The Seahawks are a really good team in the NFC. They are in the hardest division, which is going to, obviously impact their record. They might not have as high seeding as they deserve, but the Seahawks are going to be a playoff contender and will make the playoffs. The Rams, on the other hand, I asked you guys, are the Rams a playoff team? 254 votes, 54% of you guys said yes, which means 46% said no. I'm going to have to agree with the people that said no here. The Rams could sneak their way into the playoffs. We saw them play earlier in the season. They were blowing out teams. Their offense was going, super high speed and everything. But I don't know if the Rams are going to be able to do that the whole entire season. The Rams defense has been on and off. Obviously, they played great against the Bears because the Bears have a bad offensive line. But we've really yet to see the Rams beat a really good team. If the Rams can beat the Seahawks once or even sweep the Cardinals, then the Rams deserve to be in the playoffs, in my opinion. But if that doesn't happen, then yikes, I'm not too high on the Rams. Buccaneers versus Cardinals. Buccaneers, I was reluctant earlier in the season, but I did think that the offense would be clicking. I didn't think that it would be this quickly, I guess. But the Buccaneers are sitting in a playoff spot right now ahead of the Saints at 5-2. The Buccaneers are going to make the playoffs, I believe. Antonio Brown is just an added weapon. It doesn't matter. Tom Brady's, he's gotten way more weapons than he ever did on the Patriots, and the Buccaneers defense has been playing good too. The Cardinals, they deserve to make the playoffs. Earlier I said the Cardinals would be 13-3. Now that was definitely a little aggressive, but I got my point across that the Cardinals are going to be a good team this year, and I was right. DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray are a dynamic duo, and honestly, I don't want to say it, but Kenyon Drake was kind of holding the Cardinals back, and I think Chase Edmonds is going to definitely fill that void at running back. And their Cardinals defense has been surprising. If they can get Isaiah Simmons into an every down role instead of limiting his snaps, and we see Isaiah Simmons play like he did in Clemson, then the Cardinals are going to be a pretty solid team. I expect the Cardinals to make the playoffs. And then we have Eagles versus who? Eagles versus Bears. All right, so Eagles versus Bears. Carson Wentz versus Nick Foles would be a funny game. The Eagles, they're not that much of a playoff contender, but they are going to make the playoffs over the Cowboys. So the Eagles should be in the playoffs, but I don't expect them to go that far. The Bears, on the other hand, the Bears is a tricky one. Nick Foles can get hot, but is he going to be able to get hot with that garbage offensive line? The Bears' offensive line rivals with the Cowboys for worst in the league. The Eagles are up there too, but they're all injured, so that's their excuse. I don't know. I mean, the Bears do have a really, really good defense, and I could see them making the playoffs as like a wild card like this. But, they're 5-2 right now. Or how long are they going to be able to keep winning against, bad teams where they face somebody good like they did with the Rams and get blown out? Yeah, I'm not too high on the Bears. Are they a playoff contender? I don't think so. But will they make the playoffs? That's a different story. And then we have the Green Bay Packers getting the first round bye. The Packers are 5-1, and they do deserve this bye, in my opinion. Packers have proven they're one of the best teams in the NFC, along with the Seahawks, I think. And, one of those teams is going to get the bye, and they're definitely going to be a good playoff team. Going over to the AFC, there are two teams that are not even honorable mentions. We have the Dolphins and the Raiders. I don't think either one is a playoff contender. Now, is Tua Tagovailoa going to be the next Michael Vick? That could change things, but let's be realistic here. I don't think so. Number 7, we have the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are an underrated team, in my opinion, but they deserve to be underrated. I mean, they deserve to be hated on. The Colts have trolled me. I said that they would beat the Jaguars and the Browns, which, why wouldn't they? And they didn't. Phillip Rivers is honestly holding this team back, and the play calls are not great. They're underutilizing Jonathan Taylor, and they lost to 2 bad teams, the Jaguars, and we'll talk about the Browns later. So the Colts definitely have the talent on their roster. They just aren't really clicking. If they can click later in the season, I think they'll rival the Titans for the AFC South. They are a playoff contender, in my opinion, if things get going. The Kansas City Chiefs, the Chiefs obviously are a playoff contender, be real. Then we have Titans versus Browns. The Cleveland Browns are definitely a playoff pretender. The Browns, I don't even expect them to make the playoffs. 5-2, okay, things have been going great. But the Browns, no Odell, so there goes Baker Mayfield's weapon right there. And you're in a division with the Steelers and Ravens. There's not going to be 3 teams from the AFC North making the playoffs. And I doubt the Steelers or Ravens don't make it. So, sorry, Cleveland, short end of the stick. I don't think they're a playoff contender. Tennessee Titans. Now, I was a little skeptical about what would happen when I asked this question to all you guys, because the Titans did just lose to the Steelers. And it wasn't a close game, really, until the very end when Roethlisberger threw a couple picks. So the Titans basically got blown out, in my opinion. And then I asked you guys, are they a contender? 91% of you guys said yes, and they stuck with the Titans. I do, originally I was thinking of saying the Titans were not a playoff contender, but then I was like, be real. The Colts aren't clicking, and the Titans have a really good offense, and their defense is pretty solid as well. So I'm going to agree with you guys here. You guys swayed my opinion. I will say that the Titans are a playoff contender. Bills versus Ravens. The Ravens, tough division with the Steelers. It's going to be a close matchup to see who wins the division. In fact, they play each other this week. I'm not sure who's going to win that game. But the Ravens do have a playoff contender team. A lot of talent on that roster. The Buffalo Bills, a lot of people are overreacting to their bad performances and saying that they're not a playoff contender. But I do think the Buffalo Bills will win the AFC East because the Patriots are not looking good. The Jets are the Jets. And the Dolphins, who knows? How many games back are the Dolphins? The Dolphins are 2 games back on the Bills. Yeah, I don't see that happening. I think the Bills are definitely a playoff team. And they could be good in the playoffs if they click. And the number 1 seed in the AFC, with the only undefeated record, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. How about you ask Dan if they're a playoff contender? He posted enough videos about it already. Steelers are a playoff contender. Their offense looks great. Their defense looks really good. I was worried about how they would address the loss of Devin Bush. They should, it didn't show up against the Titans. They were able to stop Derrick Henry, basically. So the Steelers are a playoff contender for sure. All right, there it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe, and there we go.